Expanding our minds is the only way to add positive karma points in life. The way to expand our minds is by removing the impurities of the mind. The way to remove the impurities of our mind is by identifying them first, then trying to get hold of and removing them slowly by being aware of them in our everyday actions and daily life situations and circumstances. The next thing you would want to know is, what are these impurities of mind? Broadly, there are 6 significant impurities of the mind. In Indian Vedantic philosophy, they are known as the 6 vikaras, and they are as follows: kama, which is lustful desires; krodha, which is rage or anger; lobha, which is greed; moha, which is attachments that bind; matsarya, which is envy or jealousy; and finally, madha, which is egoist or arrogance. Some sub-variants of these major impurities are cravings and aversion, hatred and revenge, negative self-talk, hypocritical and deceitful, and harmful comparisons. Once we start identifying which of these are predominant in ourselves, we could consciously act towards getting hold of them and removing them from our being. When these impurities slowly start to reduce and be removed from our being, what happens is there will be a change in your thinking pattern. And because your thinking starts to change, your behaviors change. And when your behaviors change, your actions change, and this leads to positive change in yourself and your life situations as well as your circumstances. So when you take hold of these impurities and start to remove them from your being, you are essentially adding positive karma points to your life. How do we remove these impurities? There is a handful of approaches. For example, I have identified rage or anger as a predominant impurity of my being. To get rid of it or reduce it, I could look for situations that might make me angry and try not to be angry consciously. Another approach could be to connect with people much more furious than me, which would shut me off as I cannot match their anger. Another better method could be to consciously find situations that make me experience calm or go to a quieter place and meet more peaceful people. Different people will take different ways to work towards reducing their impurities. Let's look at another example. Assuming we have identified moha, or, in other words, attachment, as an impurity which we need to get rid of, then donating your skills, money, or different objects in your life can help you reduce this impurity of attachment. However, we have to remember that the act of donating is not to pamper our ego or feel good about our generosity. Instead, we are doing this to get hold of this impurity of attachment. An important thing to understand is that we are doing a significant service to ourselves by reducing and getting hold of our impurities. Listen to a post titled Spirituality and the Path to understand how developing the qualities of the heart is the best method to purify the mind.